So there's an old joke that goes like this. When a priest announces that he's leaving the parish, a third of the people cry, a third of the people rejoice, and a third of the people don't notice any difference. Well, by now, most of you will have heard by emails, by Facebook, by Twitter, hopefully, by now most of you will have heard yesterday's announcement that I am leaving the parish this summer. I've been appointed to full-time seminary work. And I'm aware that we're living in the midst of this coronavirus crisis, a time of great uncertainty, and that my leaving is just adding to that uncertainty. So I thought in my sermon today I would directly address that uncertainty. And my basic point is this, at the risk of comparing myself to Jesus: if the apostles could survive the Lord Jesus leaving them, then the parish can surely survive my leaving, even though that feels like it's adding uncertainty. So in the Gospel, we heard the Lord Jesus announce that he was going. "I am going now," he said. And they didn't understand it. He had predicted to them many times that he was going. 3 specific moments in the Gospels record his predicting his crucifixion and death. That it wasn't just that he was going to go in a horrible way by being crucified, by being killed. But they didn't understand. But we might imagine, even if he hadn't been going to leave in such a brutal manner by his death, they still wouldn't have wanted him to go. That they were with him, presumably because they liked being with him, and they liked him being with them. We can be pretty sure they didn't want change. They didn't want him to leave. If he hadn't left them, if they hadn't endured that change, then he couldn't have opened the way to the Father, opened the way to heaven, to the place that he was preparing for them. Now, in comparison to all that, my leaving is pretty small. But I am leaving, and I don't know what lies ahead for you, but I trust God, and I trust God for you. Trust God that he will care for you as he cared for you before I was here, and will do after. And if I think back to my own life, and if I think of all the different priests that have ministered to me, and I think about how all those different priests, they were all different, and they all helped me in different ways. That what I received from one was different from what I received from another. That when the new priest came along, I wasn't sometimes able to get from him what I'd been able to get from the other, the man before him. But there was always something new, something good in each of the new priests that came along. They helped me in different ways because they were different. And so, with the uncertainty of me leaving, we need to trust God that he will help you in different ways. So we heard the Lord Jesus addressing his troubled disciples. That's the word in that first verse there. Do not let your hearts be troubled. He told them to trust in God. Well, what does that God have in store for this community and for the individuals that are a part of this community that make it up? Well, I don't know what he has in store for you. But I do know that he's shown himself to be a good God. And I'm confident that whatever lies ahead, he will find many different ways, not just one way, many different ways, to shepherd the sheep of this flock. So to sum that up, he does lead us, he does shepherd us. He doesn't always lead us in easy ways. He doesn't always lead us in the way we want. But he does always lead us. And even with the uncertainty of my going, he will lead you and lead the sheep of this parish still.